Steph and Heather and Mark, and this is Real and Raw.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we are actually talking about, when we're in relationships with emotionally intelligent people. Okay, so first of all, what is an emotionally intelligent person? They feel deeply and they read others well. Okay, so I would say you and I and Mark are in that category. There's we just chat GBT'd this. So about a third of the world has high emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Okay. So where would you think most of that
I would say,
exists?
Well,
If
I'm
you had
gonna,
to- if
I'm
you
going
had
to
to
take
pick-
back off of Mark, who I just stole. He said the East. That makes more sense
Yeah.
to me because the West, we're asleep.
Here's why I think that's probably true, that the majority would exist over there. They tend to be philosophically different than the West, okay? For us, it's commercialism,
Right.
rat race, get the job done. Let's social. We were just talking about this, I think, in the last one where we were like, social media. Who looks this way? What do we need to do to look that way? Physically, materialism.
It's all
everything.
a lot of it is surface.
It's
yeah.
so surface and
Right.
corporeal.
Yes.
Whereas over there,
Corporeal. I like that word. I'm going to have to add that to my word list.
yeah, well, over there, typically in the past, ancient times, it was, the Vedas and ancient Indus Valley and even ancient Kemet with ancient Egyptian. It was more about living in an amalgamated state with the earth, the universe, each other, and feeding all of that. It was the epitome of emotional intelligence, along with just intelligence in general. I think we shouldn't separate this type of intelligence and that type of intelligence, because when you're looking at philosophy from these places, like we'll say the Upanishads, they don't separate that.
Right.
They say intelligence and knowledge. Some people will walk around like fools, leading each other, quote unquote, like fools as scholars, thinking they're so great.
Right.
But they're ignorant. They're ignorant.
Their ignorance and their ego, for sure.
So
right?
it's intelligence as a whole includes emotional,
right.
Secular, religion, whatever you want. It's all in this one big blob of intelligence. I don't think we should separate the two. I think when we use that word,
Right.
that's my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% buy into that. And I think, when we are in these, when we are in relationships with emotionally higher vibrating, higher, IQ, I say IQ, EQ, right? What that does is that actually, the ones that I'm in with people, which I'm trying now to, to gravitate more to people that are like-minded in that sense, because it's less confusing.
Yeah.
Because when you are in a relationship with somebody who has that emotional maturity, really, they allow to open up a deeper, more meaningful relationship. And
Yes.
so I feel like that a lot of people have no idea why they like certain people or why they gravitate to this person, or, oh my God, this person feels like what a lot of people would call home, right?
Mm-hmm. Or I've known them somewhere else. I've known them
Yes.
for multiple lifetimes, or I just have this connection.
Absolutely. And I think that raw honesty that people that have this intelligence, they offer. And what it does is in my own relationships, I can see when I'm doing it for others, their walls sort of go down a little bit, or maybe they're a little not as thick, whatever it might be. But when you can communicate with somebody like that and you can have that kind of relationship, it's so deep. It's like this intimacy that we all crave, yet we're so afraid because of all these walls, because you know what? We have our defenses up, because most people, again, if you're looking at just that statistic, right, that raw statistic of it's about a third of the world that actually has this intelligence, that just means there's 2/3 that doesn't. Okay.
Then we have to ask ourselves, like, who's actually measuring that? Is that a scientific? When you're scientifically measuring that, are you like, okay,
They are
I can
scientifically measuring that.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm saying who's doing that?
Harvard, I can tell you because I used to teach emotional intelligence. Well, not teach, but do emotional intelligence for my job. And
This is good information. I like it.
thank you. And I that's what I did. I researched emotions. I researched, the impacts of it. Who's doing it? I mean, they even have this study. I believe it's Harvard or Yale, one of the two. Okay, one of those.
One of the Ivy
One of
Leagues.
those dumb schools.
One of the people where all the dummies are.
Yeah, all the idiots are there. But they have this program, and they've had it for at least 10, 15 years now, of where they bring emotional intelligence to a school, right? I think there's several schools. A lot of it is abroad. But they have followed these children that started in, kindergarten with being taught about emotions, how to handle them. Oh my gosh, this kid, he just sucker punched you. This is, how do you feel? Like, they are starting at such a young age. So if they're not getting it in the home, because a lot of us don't, right? They're getting it in this school, and they are actually measuring. Did I say measuring? They are measuring the confidence levels, the lack of stress. So that's what they're measuring. Is they're not finding the levels of stress, the anxiety, the lashing out, all those negative things. I mean, I'm sure there's still some, but it blew my mind when I was reading this, and I was going, oh my fucking God, like, we are missing it.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, honestly, it's hard to be in a lot of relationships when you are in a person that feels more and you have that empathy, because 2/3 of the world don't have it. And so you're butting up against them all the time. You're showing up in this authentic way, which most people, oh my God, they love that person, because that truth teller, that person that knows how to sort of finesse you, and you open up to them. But the minute that one of their triggers is hit, or, you hit those emotional landmines, they're like, oh, yeah, no, I don't want any parts of that. And they get upset. And it's like this defense comes up. But that person really is an amazing instrument. And people that you don't forget usually have that high emotional intelligence. Like, they leave an imprint on every place and person that they encounter, because they're so open. And I think that for me is a really hard thing. Like, I almost want to start to cry right now, because I'm tired. I'm tired of,
It's exhausting.
of showing up authentic, and and this isn't like a bitch fest, but it's honesty, and people saying one thing and doing another, right? Like, actions. I feel that that people that have that high emotional intelligence, they care about their words match their actions, right?
Yeah, hopefully most of the time.
Most of the time, but even if they don't, that emotionally intelligent person is going to say, you know what?
At least in their brain and in their heart, they're going to think about the emotions and the feelings of another being outside of themselves.
Yes, and
It's not just about them.
And even if they do harm you, okay, because you're human, we're all human, you're going to go back and say, that's the difference, is they say, I'm sorry, I fucked up.
Yeah, and they mean it, and they mean
they're
it.
accountable, yeah. And I think that, again, 2/3 of the world isn't operating this way. It makes it really fucking hard to, try to wake up every single day with that zest for life when there's so much confusion in the relationship.
There's too many distractions in the West, especially.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I think that we produce so many imposters of this thing here called emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
There are, we were talking about the scientific part. There are scientific explanations for people that exist who have things that can show up on different scans, and you can measure it, like, sociopaths, and, but they're experts at emulating others.
Yeah.
And they can
Mask wearers.
they can seem like they're emotionally intelligent,
Yeah.
if not beyond that. And it's a very confusing state for someone who is authentic.
Yes, because part
You're
of
like
them,
bait. It's like a
part of them-
bait. It's
yeah,
like bait.
It is, and
Yeah.
and you're like, wait a minute, hang on, no, and then you want to give the person the benefit of the doubt. So what?
Over and over and over again.
Absolutely, but highly intelligent people, they know where the trauma is coming from. They know why somebody. So when somebody will just say, a friend of mine, right, talks shitty to me, or maybe makes a nasty comment.
Like passive
Yeah,
aggressive,
yeah. So passive aggressive.
patronizing, condescending. But
Yes.
I love you.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
when they make those kind of comments, I know where it's coming from, right? I don't take it.
It's not personal.
It's not personal, and most of the time I don't take it personal unless
No.
there's a wound on my end, right? And then that's fucking
Yeah.
fun when you're
It could
when
be
you're, when you're playing tennis back and forth with your wounds.
It could be somebody else, like let's say an ex-wife or something. It doesn't matter what new girlfriend comes into the picture. You're still going to get if there's some scars and they're and let's say they're adept at they're experts at this passive aggressive tendency or whatever it is. They're just going to flood you with that. If we are emotionally intelligent, we're not reactive, okay? We're not reactive.
Well, you're watching for patterns. So that's, to me, one of the biggest signs of somebody that is emotionally intelligent is they step back.
Patterns.
They step back and they watch the patterns. So
Yeah.
I do that in relationships. A lot of times I will absolutely hold back what I'm really thinking because I want to assess. I want to watch. Okay, I know this is awkward for you because I can feel it. And now that's, again, a super strength of a super empath, right? Is that we can feel you don't have to, you can sit there and lie to me and tell me that, oh, you're fine. When I'm like, no, actually you're not. You're about to fucking fall apart right now, right? But I don't need to call you out on that. I'm just going to wait and see.
Because I can discern that from the energy that I'm absorbing from you. It's a discernment.
Bingo. That's it. Ding, ding, ding. That's probably the biggest, best word. Way to go, Heather. That's why you're that's why you're here.
Bitch. Bitch.
Got it. Yeah, discernment. That is the biggest, to me, point of difference. Is there's this discerning piece to this person, right? And so when somebody is lashing out at me or they take a bite at me, I know where it's coming from. And I'm like, because I can see where that wound is. And that's the difference, is like when somebody has that ability, that empathy, it is so obvious to them why this person is acting this way. And this person has, that you're in that with, they get the bonus of you not doing what everybody else does to them, which is reverse it.
Yeah.
Put, oh, fuck you, or whatever it is.
Now, when you have two of these in a room, okay, going back and forth, I mean, it is like a fucking clown show.
Oh.
I'm going to one-up you, I'm going to one-up you, I'm going to one-up you, and I'm going to one-up you.
But guess what?
And it's exhausting as shit when you're watching it, hearing it, or even involved in it. This is like... it's an emotional wisdom that takes time.
I love
that. It takes time to get to this place.
It takes it takes a lot of experience, and people don't want to put the
wisdom.
work in.
It should be emotional wisdom instead of
yes.
Well, we're just making up words now, or
I love
phrases. But
keep it up.
like if you have, here's a really good example. My friend and I were talking earlier, and she's like, look, a big word that should be in the English language that should be put into this whole conversation is grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God. Yes. That's what we give people.
If you are here's a couple examples. If you're really drunk one night and you're going through a lot of shit in your life,
that's happened to me.
and you know that there are a couple people in front of you who are going to love you unconditionally. They're emotionally intelligent.
Right.
They know you. They know your life. They know what you're going through. And that's your punching bag, and you're hammering them. You know that the next morning they're going to wake up cringing, going, oh, I can't believe I did that to them. I can't.
Yeah.
The emotionally intelligent person, even if they're not your friend, but they've been through it multiple times, can say to themselves, I'm gonna give this to them.
Yeah.
I won't be mad. I won't mention it. They needed some grace through this. They felt like I could be their punching bag for a moment, and maybe that's how I served them.
Well, you know what?
Not "Rah, back. Well, you this and you that and you suck at this and you said that.
Yeah, the defense game.
Just, you know what?
You gave him
You're
grace.
going through. You don't even have to say you're going through something, because that's still a part of like contributing to the argument. Just be silent. And
Really?
maybe a little while later, send them a text like that's completely unrelated of something fun or nice or cute.
Yeah. No,
That is extreme emotional. That's the Buddhist way.
That is. And I think there are times when that absolutely should come into play, because you know what?
I mean, I'm saying this,
Yeah,
but
it's a
do I always do this?
Yeah.
No. I can do as I say, not as I do. No, let us
But you're
be
still human,
examples.
yeah.
But let us be examples. We should be living this example.
Or here's what I would do in that scenario. I might play it out a little differently, because I feel there's this, there's a term, I don't remember who told me, but it's called idiot Buddhism. And it's where if you know better, you do better. And that we are here to be examples and to help.
And there's a
others.
responsibility.
No, that's
a responsibility.
So that's where I'm going to say I would probably switch that up a little bit, because I would want me to be the person telling somebody, hey, that wasn't cool, because I know that I'm not angry about it. I'm not ugly about it. I'd rather me be that person than
somebody who
else
is
who's
emotionally
yes.
like shallow.
Yes.
Like it's every time I have a hard time learning like an emotional spiritual lesson. I just really go to the microcosm of my relationship with my child.
Mm-hmm.
She has said to me so many times, well, Mom, but you're older than me and you've been through and you've this and that. And so you shouldn't be reacting. And she's right.
Yeah.
There is a responsibility that comes with emotional wisdom, emotional intelligence.
When you know better,
wisdom.
You do better.
Okay, Heather, you've taken calculus 4 now. Now you can go be the engineer. You're responsible for that.
Right.
I've taught you this.
Right. So
you have not learned that. I don't expect you to. You've been doing Botox for 20 years. You should have a better way of understanding this muscle versus that, and versus someone who's just learning. It is a responsibility. There is a responsibility.
There's an obligation, I believe, that comes with that kind of discernment, because
Yes.
you have you can hurt somebody, because when they're vulnerable and they do something, there's shame involved, right? So you
Yes.
can take the higher road, and one, you can do what you said, which is just let it go. Okay. Me, I'm going to probably wait a minute, let it die down, not respond. And then maybe the next day I might say, wow, that was a night. And let you. I'm going to give you the opportunity to open. I'm opening the door for you.
Because
so that you allow yourself to now release your shame.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you the grace to do it. So that is the difference. That's how people grow. That's how you, in relationships, you allow that vulnerability and you allow them to be a fucking human being and not take advantage of that raw moment.
No.
And then they come back to you and then they grow.
And it's,
you grow.
And I can say from personal experience, and I'm going to probably go out there and say there too for the person reciprocating, it is very cathartic. If you, like for instance, if they just like on a text, and it comes out of nowhere a couple of times.
Well, it never
recently,
comes out of nowhere, but
well,
it feels like it.
If it's not coming out of nowhere, but I'm saying maybe the target's not really you, but you're the one that can be the soundboard that won't. It's an unconditional.
You can reroute them. You can say, "Oh, hey,
or
you have that ability,"
or they know she'll love me unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
I still got it.
Right.
It's not gonna. There's no. My dad was never like that. God love him. I love him, but it was conditional. It still is.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked on eggshells.
Yeah.
Now my mom, on the other hand, punched the shit out of her. I don't mean physically.
Yeah.
And she's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah.
We have people in our lives that we know are like that, unconditional for us. They give us so much grace. If you lash out, sometimes if you really know that person, you can ignore the text or the lash out or the whatever it is they've said about you.
Yeah.
Because you know why. It's probably something else going on in their lives. You know their lives personally and deeply. So you just let it go and then maybe come back later with something unrelated that would make them feel warm and fuzzy. And chances are they're likely
They're going to get it. It's a subtle.
They know it.
They do. It's subtle. but it's
yes.
but it's impactful. So
Yes.
I want to tell you a quick little a story. So I was in a relationship with a guy, and he was very regimented. I don't know why, but I go for men that have regiment because I don't have any. That's probably why, right? I'm learning. I'm like
military routine.
Yes, very. But also, not as emotionally. There's not as much flex there.
Okay.
I understand that. I'm okay.
Maybe
right?
you're there to teach them. Maybe it's a
Possibly,
learning thing.
Possibly. Right. So, or maybe I think it's a learning on both sides. So anyway, I'm going to give you a scenario that happened. So, and this is whatever. So he had some nose hairs growing out of
Which I have 0 right now.
You don't-
And folks, don't ever do that because I've been sick
Yeah.
and inflamed
Oh
ever
my God.
since.
So yeah, she did take out every
Accident.
fucking nose hair of hers. Why? I don't know. That's a little
Side road here.
Yeah.
Don't
And
ever
she-
do it.
And she couldn't. So it just drips. There's
It's-
nothing to catch.
I mean,
there were no nose hairs.
it's the worst thing you can ever do is pluck all your nose hairs.
Okay, so I didn't do that. But listen, so here
He had nose
he has nose hairs hanging out, and they were like this, right? So
Okay, the emotional, shallow side of me would go, cut him off, cut him off. I'm kidding.
So I said, hey, yeah, like, let me help you. And I was trying to help, and he's like, stop, don't touch me. Okay, fine, whatever. And then, no, wait, that's okay. So I back off.
Okay.
Okay, I don't get my feelings hurt. And then he says, okay, I need a little help. All right, so I start doing it. Now, this was a lot of work, okay? Because there were a few more in there that neither of us saw. So
That's what happened to me.
so I think I was trying.
I can relate.
I was trying not to hurt him. So here I am, like, pulling these hairs out, right? And finally he loses
Oh, God, the
it.
irony.
No,
The
and-
irony.
Yeah, he loses it, but not because he's hurt, because he's annoyed now with me, okay? And I realize this. I have dealt with this personality type my entire fucking life. Like, I know you, okay? I know who this is in there.
This is a you that I've known
Yeah,
consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get how you are. Now you're just annoyed. So I go, okay. He's like, that's enough. Okay, fine. Okay, walk away. I go read my book, or I'm on my phone, and then 2-3 minutes later, he's like, hey, I need your help in here. And I go, no, I think you got it. I think you got it. But I
like
wasn't,
it.
But I wasn't mean. I was like, no, that's okay. I'm good. And he looked at me and he goes, I can't believe how you handle me. And he looked at me with surprise, right? Because it was like a moment of affirmation of, oh shit, I'm acting like an asshole. And she's not responding the way that I would anticipate, or maybe I would respond, right? And so I could tell it was a shift in him just for that second. Now, I don't know how long it lasts, but I looked at him and I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll help you again.
Do you think sometimes these people want to go back and forth in chaos? Do they?
I
Do
think
they?
that's
Do
what
they
they
want
do.
that?
I don't know.
What is it that they want?
That's a great. What they want is their routine and their consistency, and they want. I think when you don't have that emotional palette,
They don't know how to react.
There's only so many tools in
Yeah.
there, and they don't know how to react, and they haven't been given. This is what I believe is that, and I'm going to put myself in this. This isn't like, oh, I'm this or that and this. No, I have my own shit, and I love.
Don't we all?
And I love when people can handle me correctly. I'm like, learn how to fucking handle me. That's it. Like, listen, I will give you the map.
And let me disclaimer, guys. That's a 0.001% out there because she's rare.
Yeah, please. Stop.
I am too, though.
Yeah, you are.
And that's why we give so much grace, because we don't really expect there to be that many people out there that can handle this level of what we're talking about here.
What it is, it's a level of allowing somebody to grow without you taking it personal, right? And for your
And that is so
openness-
hard to do.
Yeah, no, it is. And I mean, I would say
really
maybe
difficult.
8 out of 10 times I get it, but there's those 2 times I'm like, fuck this.
Sometimes our canister, is depleted.
Yeah.
And we are
That's what
just
happens.
exhausted at this point. And so then it's like, people are so used to us responding in an emotionally intelligent way that if there's one time out of 100 that we go, "Arr," it's like, how I can't believe it. She's a bitch.
No, but what that tells me about that person is that they've become so codependent on you.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a word.
Yeah, but that you know, managing their emotions, right?
I can do what I want because she'll handle it and bring me back. She's the, she's the PhD in this, and I'm still the undergrad. She'll handle it.
Yeah, but they don't even. I don't think that people even.
They don't think that way.
Think that way, but that's
you
what's
and
going
I are
on
yes,
behind
yes,
the scenes, right?
yes.
And I think that when at least for me, when I get to a point where I'm so confused by a relationship or by what's going on, right? A situation, and I stick around sometimes a little too long, and I asked myself
No,
the
yeah.
other day. I did. I asked myself.
So do I.
And I was like,
So do I.
yeah, we do. I'm like, why are you doing that? And I think it's because I'm trying to wrap up. Like, okay, wait, am I really reading this correctly?
Some loose ends on your own,
on my
of
own,
your own.
of my own. Like,
Yeah.
I need to know that. I might, throw out a couple more what I would like to call warning shots. That's what I do. Like in my relationships, I will cut people out and not look back. That's because once we get down to that place, I'll give and I did this for my own kids.
Yeah.
Warning shots. Like
Well,
I say, listen, here's the line now. If you cross that line, I no longer can be in your life because this is unhealthy for me.
We call that onion layers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you peel a layer, you peel a layer. We've been saying this for years, my group of friends. Once you get to that raw core, it's okay. We can't come. There's no turning back now.
No. And
I'm at the raw core of the onion layer, and that's it. We're done.
Yeah, and it's not a
Keep
personal
going.
thing. It is
no, it's not
absolutely
personal.
It is
It's an indifference. It's an indifference.
That's kind of.
I don't give a shit anymore. I don't hate you, but I just don't give a shit anymore.
Well,
good luck.
It's not in alignment with you, and that's what will happen with me.
Yes.
That I.
Yes.
In friendships, like people look at me, they're like, "Wow, what happened?"
You
with
just
that
really
one?
like.
Oh, look at that! I'm like, no, this. What
you had 100,000 warning shots.
No, there were lots of warning shots, right?
And I even told you.
Right. Absolutely.
Here they're coming.
So it's kind of for me. I'm very a rational person, but also optimistic, but a realist.
So what do you think? What do you think happens in people like that who we don't want to lose, and we do have a connection to, and we love them, but after the what's the number? Like when's the raw core?
I don't think there is a number.
There's not.
I think it's and something internal went off. Like when that happens to me, something internal. It basically takes over because what happens is I think that my spiritual side has taken such a beating, right? And that I'm no longer, like, I'll tell you.
You're not you anymore.
No, I'm not. And I need to regain my energy. So what I do is, I throw out a warning shot. And
to yourself even.
To myself, but also to whomever. Like I don't play chicken with people. And if the behavior doesn't change or something doesn't change, then they know what's happening, right? It's
never going to. The thing is, it's never going to, is it?
It feels like it's a surprise, but it's not. It's not a surprise because I've talked about it and I've over talked about it and I've talked about it to where I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Right. And then you're sick of yourself talking about it.
No, and I'm sure my friends are fucking sick of me talking about certain things too,
No.
So, I mean, look, that when you get to that place, I think, is when you realize, okay, I've done everything that I can in this relationship.
And beyond.
And that's okay. I have no regrets. And that's where I like to land, is where I don't have any regrets. I've given the scenario for what will work in this relationship. And I don't ask for a lot. I really don't. But if my respect,
I don't either.
If my respect and my time are being devalued, get the fuck out.
And if you are prioritizing everything else over me because there's so much grace.
Yeah.
I know you have a busy schedule. So do I. I know you have this going on. So do I. But am I the stronger person? Okay, I'll take that maybe. I'll take that to a certain point.
Right.
But at what point do we say, like, okay, this is never going to change?
But is
it 150? Is it 350?
Right.
Is it 112? It's
Right,
a
you
it's
don't
a
know.
it's a you don't know. There's no number.
That's
It's
analogy
the
I like
emotional
to do.
intelligence that
Yes.
you have
Yes.
to know.
To step out.
That's it.
That's it. That's enough. I've
I
had
can
enough. I've learned this lesson, and I'm ready to check the box, and I'm ready for something else. And that's
and you can still you have the capacity to love from afar.
no, that to me, that's transcendent. Like I will always love the people that I love.
That's it.
Even if they're not in my life, because I realize the value that they brought. I realize everybody has a journey.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
fucking had hardships, right? And they're dealing with them in their own ways. And so I think when that's an emotionally intelligent person can understand where that other person is coming from. Like
Empathy. You talk about it all the time. Empathic.
yeah, that's what we are,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And so I do feel, at least for me, when I have reached that point, right?
Yeah.
I've done everything that I can possibly do without taking from me. Now my fuel is zapped. And so when I get to that point, it's like,
But
I got to go.
But here's the journey, though. Going through that journey and the different onion layers. Every layer, there's a moment where you say, I did everything I can. Then you question, maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
Here comes
But-
the
but
next.
that- no,
but here comes the next layer. You get to the core and go, no, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
There's a question every layer.
Yeah.
Maybe
then
I could have done this one other thing.
Then time will tell. That's
Yeah.
it. To me, that's it. When you stop, whatever it is, the delusion that you want somebody to catch up to wherever you're at, right?
And they don't have the capacity.
Right. And you know what? They could think, look, I'm just using the emotional place, right?
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times that I have learned from others. Oh my God, all day long. And like
Yes.
even
horrible.
every
Yes.
single one of them.
Yes.
So you do pick up a lot of experiences along the way, and every single one of those I'm grateful for. So today I was woke up and I kind of had a little bit of like anxiety, and I hadn't felt that in a few days, and it's to a certain situation that isn't going on in my life. But I was like, Steph, this is an attachment, and so I had to I put
attached.
Yeah, there's a sticky note on. I got sticky notes all over my fucking car. Oh my God, my car's back, by the way. Just so you know.
I saw
it's been
it.
4.5 months.
I was like, it's back.
Oh yes.
I'm pulling up in
Oh.
12 inches of snow, but here it is.
Oh
It's
yeah.
here.
Yes, she is. But
Girl, you know what? It's an armamentarium box of wisdom.
yeah.
You have this. You've picked up these tools over the. We use that term in medicine sometimes, but you picked up all of these tools, right? And it's now you've got this little box of wisdom that you can keep going back and saying, oh, I won't do it this time, all right? I'll do it I'll do it different this time.
Right. But just think of like when you are inserting yourself in the life of somebody that does have that additional knowledge, right? They've done the work. They've got that spiritual and that emotional maturity.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? Those are the people that help catapult others because they're able to be vulnerable. And I feel like that is such a misunderstood, it's glossed over, it's skipped over.
Underappreciated
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
And the thing is, one thing we always have to remember as these emotionally intelligent people, it's like a sidewalk. You and I might be on the same block, but there's someone over here to the right and a little ahead, and there's someone 2 blocks ahead. No one's ever on the same block of emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
You are really alone. This is such a unique faculty.
Yeah, it's a party
It's
of one.
a unique subjective. That's it, party of one. And so there's grace that has to be given from someone a block ahead, and there's grace that has to be given from the one that's here and 1 block. They're still there,
Right.
but maybe a little. There's a whole, it's just such a color wheel of,
Oh gosh, of everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Cornucopia of things.
yes.
Yeah. So anyway, what we think is
I like that topic.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you find yourself with these people who are seriously so open, light, use that. If you don't happen to be one of them, let them help you to kind of get to that status, because when you're able to, and they've just experienced vulnerability and working through those uncomfortable moments,
Yes.
a bit more than the average person, right? And maybe they had to do it, right? It wasn't because we're all in different places at the same time, right? Everybody's going through something, and I think,
Yes.
you know,
it's a unique journey for everyone.
Understanding that, to me, everybody's going through something.
I mean,
I don't know what it is.
In a way, it can be really lonely, but in a way, it can also be very like there's fellowship in it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? The fellowship that you have with yourself, like that.
The higher self tells you
Yeah,
things. Yes.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
anyway, all right. So be kind to those emotionally intelligent people in your lives, okay?
Let them teach you things. Yeah.
Yeah, because they definitely, are creating a space of growth for either you and or your relationship. But definitely, those are people that you don't want. You don't want to fuck over. The
No.
universe likes
And I
them
think
too much.
I think we could even do a part 2 on how maybe we sort of got into those spaces through difficult times, but also through, like, there's actual scientific evidence, like meditation.
Yes.
There
yeah.
are certain practices,
Yep.
but they are, you have to actually put the effort in.
Yeah, I think that's it. Is not to avoid whatever life problems are. We feel them, we let them in, and I think that's where the wisdom comes.
Right. Don't turn them away.
Yeah, don't turn down the experience, right? Like, it's sitting at your door, you're already hurting, or you're already afraid, or you're already pissed, or you're already whatever. Utilize it.
And it ties into one of the topics that we were talking before about vulnerability and fear. All of these things are connected.
Yes, they are. So anyway,
Okay.
be nice to your emotionally intelligent friends and family, fuckers. Have a great day.